Well, here we are again, friends. We've previously covered the Skullheart and the Parasites, two of the biggest features in the Skullgirls universe. However, since these early episodes are covering the broader topics of Skullgirls, and because I received a specific request for it, shout out to Yoshin Pixels on YouTube, today we'll be covering the different kingdoms, regions, and species of the Skullgirls universe. I apologize in advance for my voice, my throat is super messed up right now, but lore videos are fun to make, so let's get on to it. We'll be covering the topics in this video in the order they're stated in the title, so let's begin with kingdoms. There are three major kingdoms in the Skullgirls universe, being the Canopy Kingdom, the Chess Kingdom, and the Gegen Nation. Each kingdom houses a separate subset of people, and they're based on 1940s Europe, Russia, and the Middle East, respectively. Firstly, the Canopy Kingdom. This kingdom is where we, as spectators of the story that takes place in Skullgirls, spend most of our time in-game. This kingdom is ruled by the Raynor family, with the most recent heir to the throne being Parasol, one of the playable characters. Previously, the kingdom was ruled by her mother, Nancy Raynor, and her father, King Franz Raynor. The previous Raynor rule saw many war campaigns and conflicts between the Canopy Kingdom and the two other nations, which led to both huge economic growth and rapid technological advancements. Of the 14 playable characters in Skullgirls, 8 of them come from or currently live in the Canopy Kingdom. Many of these characters, with the exception of Parasol, live in the New Meridian. The New Meridian is the largest metropolitan city in the Skullgirls universe, but beneath all of its celebrity influence, flashy lights, and rich history, it is ruled by the criminal underworld, and is generally a very unsafe place to live. We'll go more in depth about criminals and mafia of the New Meridian in the next video, but just know for now, it's not exactly the nicest place to live. Other than the New Meridian, the Canopy Kingdom is home to Canopolis, the city in which the princess and her family reside, Maple Crest, where Philly and Painwheel once lived, and Little Innsmouth, where Misfortune and Minette reside. It appears that only Little Innsmouth has a unique species in its area, but they're pretty interesting. Dagonians! Actually, I lied. Dagonians aren't that interesting. They're fish people. There's not much more to it than that, actually. They're pretty much just humanoid fish people. With all its prestige, the Canopy Kingdom is actually rather biased towards certain individuals or groups. Many normal citizens dislike the hold that the Medici Mafia has on the New Meridian, whereas there is a much wider spread disdain towards people with parasites, like much of the characters in the roster, as owning a parasite or using one's power is considered taboo in the Skullgirls universe. The people of the Canopy Kingdom also have a heavy disdain towards ferals. And now to explain what ferals are, and these guys are actually kind of interesting. Ferals are human-animal hybrid characters, people like Misfortune. People don't seem to like them in the New Meridian because their existence is unnatural, but with all the people running around, it's a little weird. And that about wraps it up for the Canopy Kingdom, which means the next kingdom on the chopping block is the Gegen Nation. First off, what is a Gegen? Well, Gigens are giant humanoid creatures with an average height of around 15 feet tall. They have incredible strength, heightened endurance, and physical resistance to many forms of harm. The Gegen Kingdom is ruled by Gilgamesh, the largest Gegen in history and a sworn enemy to King Franz Raynor, as they had fought many times in previous years due to Canopolis' war campaigns. Sadly, there are no playable characters that come from the Gegen Nation, but 2 Gegen characters do play roles in characters' stories. A great Gegen warrior named Grendel was felled by famous Canopolis-born wrestler Beowulf. This fight was broadcast on major television in every kingdom as a show of power and prowess for the Canopy Kingdom. Gameplay-wise, Beowulf can discard his chair mid-combat in favor of using Grendel's severed arm as a weapon. Also, important to note, Beowulf's story mode revolves around him settling a story with Grendel one last time, as it was proven Grendel was drugged before the fight and was incapable of winning. Ain't that just swell? The other important Gegen character, well not as important, is Scythana. Scythana was a background character referenced in the first section of Parasol's story mode. In this short cutscene, we can see that Scythana was characterized as a Gegen terrorist, meaning she was probably doing some not-so-nice stuff in the Canopy Kingdom. Her role in the story is very minor, but it is important to bring her up as she's one of the only Gigens that we physically see in Skullgirls, which is kind of shocking because it seems like they had a lot of ideas for the Gegen Nation, but, you know, things happen. Interestingly enough, the Gegen Kingdom has its roots in the real world. The Gegen Kingdom is based off of the Middle East, and the characters' names are references to ancient Babylonian texts, as Beowulf and Gilgamesh are both characters from ancient Assyrian religion. That's also kind of cool. Finally, the Chess Kingdom. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys for a second. I don't actually know all that much about the Chess Kingdom, and neither does the rest of the internet, apparently. The wiki page has very bare bones and little information about the kingdom, so please excuse the apparent lack of content or spotlight that this particular kingdom has. I'm doing my best with the information I have. The game also doesn't do a very good job of explaining this. I didn't even know there were 3 kingdoms until I read this, so buckle up. As stated previously, not much is known about the Chess Kingdom, but here's what we know. This kingdom has a focus on magic instead of science, the majority of the population is human, and it culturally resembles traditional European society, with many of its architectural designs being based on a medieval motif but set within a modern setting. The kingdom is called the Chess Kingdom because its best defenders are large robotic golems that resemble rooks from the board game chess. The only other notable fact about the Chess Kingdom is that they practice a different religion from what we see in every other kingdom. It's theorized that their proclivity and prowess in magic is due in part to their religious beliefs. The only character confirmed to come from the Chess Kingdom is also shrouded in mystery. On the Skullgirls non-canon character list, there's an article listed under Fu Shen. The description only states that she's an assassin of the Chess Kingdom, but there's no image or concept art available on the wiki, so I'm assuming Alex Zahad probably just brought her up as a character he was thinking a lot about, but didn't actually have any plans or ideas to put her in the game. So it's a little weird. We literally know almost nothing about this kingdom, and I think that's really cool and also really weird. Hey, now a few interesting fun facts. The kingdoms are separated by a treacherous path of war-torn desert called No Man's Land. This was originally a stage in Skullgirls Mobile, but as of last week, it's been added to Skullgirls proper. Also, during the rule of King Franz Raynor, the kingdoms were at war with one another. King Nancy, upon finding the Skull Heart, wished for peace between the three nations, and was thus turned into the Skullgirl. The three kingdoms had to band together to stop her, and in the modern day, the kingdoms are still at peace, but as very uneasy allies. So yeah, guys, that about does it for kingdoms and locales of the Skullgirls universe. As is customary in this series, I'd like to leave you guys with some nice questions to think about. So, let's get on with it. Which kingdom do you guys think has the coolest design? Do you guys think that the Chess Kingdom should have gotten more exposure? Do you guys think there should be a playable Gegen in the game? Personally, I think yes to the last two, and I think out of the kingdoms we see, Canopolis definitely has the coolest design, but that's not really a fair question because we don't see much of the others. So, I think concept-wise, the Chess Kingdom's probably the coolest. Well, seeing as it's the end of the video, I'd like to thank everybody for watching. It means a lot to me to see that these Skullgirls lore videos are doing well. I really do love making these. Again, I'd like to thank Yoshi Pixels for the idea to make this video, and I'd like to thank all you beautiful individuals for watching. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing. I'd love to reach 100 subs before summer lets up, as I want to do something special. Something like a Q&A or something of that sort. But anyways, thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Dislike it if you disliked it. This was me, Melting Explodes Bloodily, and I'll catch you guys the next time some Skullgirls lore needs explaining. See ya.